one and all to what is a new season here on Tuesday. Now, all the second race competitors, welcome to round one of the oNiD Cup Sprint Series 20 and 23 here at the wonderful historic track of Silverstone. Format this evening for this new season, two 20-minute races, followed with their own qualifying session as well. 10 minutes for this one, and then we'll have another 10-minute session after this first 20-minute race, and we'll go at it all again for another 20-minute race for race 2 this evening. Most notably, the cars. Cup cars galore, Porsches, Lamborghinis, that's all they're going to get for tonight. And alongside me on this fantastic season of sprint racing is an amazing, dearest, fantastic all-round bloke, and I'm not going to up him anymore because his ego will get too inflated. Ben! Good evening, Ben Durramo himself.
It's like, what do you want from me to be giving that many compliments? This is not like you. Yeah, we've got a great night, something a bit different for a Tuesday night on the Assetto course. It's 2 sprint races. A little different from the endurance stuff we're usually running, but it's certainly looking spicy out there with the Porsches and Lamborghinis very much mixing it up.
Absolutely, and indeed it's 2 20-minute races tonight, and that's all they're going to get for this first round, and every round will be the same pretty much. 2 20 minutes or 3 20 minutes, I can't remember.
I believe it's 2 20 minutes.
2 20 minutes, because I'm such a top-notch commentator, I remember to look at SimRacing.GP track. Well done, Aidan. Spot on. Too old. But as we await for people to set their first flying laps in this very short 10-minute race, sorry, short, what am I saying? It's a short 10-minute qualifying session for the first 20-minute race. We aren't seeing any times on the board as of yet. We might get a couple in a moment, depending if they've been validated or not. Still nothing as of yet as we follow Joran online around on the circuit. I don't think he's the first car out on a fast lap. There were cars before him that got out the pit, so I'm not entirely sure who's going to be finishing across the line first. It might be Schittel in the car 525 in that Porsche Cup. No, it's Tomlinson, 2 minutes 2, followed by Kingston with 2 minutes 3. Schittel does come across the line, it wasn't far wrong. It was their third car to come across the line to set a lap time, but indeed it's a very slow lap for that 525 car, and indeed he's going to hopefully be improving as the qualifying session progresses.
Indeed, it's looking tight at the top already though. Dixon going ahead there, our reigning Tuesday night champion from the OTMs from last season, but found a good little gap there. He's got about half a second ahead of Wood. But technically we are running 2 classes of car. They're each their own classes, the Lamborghinis and the Porsches, but they are going to be racing each other realistically. There's overall wins and victories on the line here. So they're not going to stop and go, no, I'm not racing that class. They're going to go, I'm going for an overtake.
Absolutely indeed. A couple of yellow flags though, as we see Jacob Grassley just step on track and promptly return to the pits. Who's that on the yellow flag? Going very wide is
I think he's setting up to return to pits there on the looks of it.
Yeah, I think we'll leave him be because
no, maybe not. Getting going again.
Well, yet again, it's a name I can't pronounce, so we're going to promptly move away from him.
Dave Wood continuing his brilliant liveries there. Yankat last season, and is this My Little Pony he's got on it this season?
I'm not sure how much.
Whatever it is amazing. All of it. That's the screen time we give it.
It's a unicorn.
Literally all of it.
I don't know.
Matt Holmes, so you're very quiet.
I'm very quiet.
Yeah, that might just be Aidan, to be honest.
It might just be me. I'm going to turn myself up a little bit and see if that's any better. Interesting. I will bear that in mind.
We'll always have a few little twitches when we've been off for a week, but
yes, indeed, we do. It's a little bit interesting, but we're alright, we do good. I can see I'm pretty quiet.
Right, Dave, if we have a favourite livery competition, I think Dave's already the front runner for me.
Oh,
we'll see what other people can come up with.
Big time, like
I am 100% behind the 13 cars livery right now.
Oh, absolutely, I am. Like, just we'll have to have a look up and down the grid just to see
Yes,
what's
absolutely.
what, because that is just. Yeah, I do. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to give that any more airtime. I'm fascinated by it, but there's other things happening on track.
We're just going to end up staring at this all evening, aren't we?
Pretty pink. Oh my god.
I've ever regretted that ACC doesn't really have a procedure for standing starts available in its options.
No, it doesn't. That's the thing.
These cars would be amazing having a standing start down into turn 1.
Oh, big time. Like literal big time.
Yeah. As I recall, they've got ABS, no traction control. In the Porsches at least, isn't it?
I believe so. Porsche's no traction control. I know that much because I drove them quite recently with Daniel Hearn. Just on a bit of a giggle of a night.
So something a bit different to get used to.
Yeah, pretty much. You can control these cars really well with just your right foot, and they do have fantastic traction. But the downforce is just quite not there.
Mocha Steel in the I'm not sure how to pronounce the screen name there, man. But absolutely, standing starts would be amazing. We get plenty fun out of them on Mondays, for that's for sure.
Yes.
So
no, absolutely. So it would be amazing. It would be amazing, but just we'll see. We never know. Don't say never say never. But for this season, at the very least, we are still in rolling starts. We might have to. Speaking
unless Kunos patch them in, it's not going to be.
Well, no.
Daniel Hearn is winning the team names championship at the moment.
Oh no!
I'm not sure whether to read that one out on screen.
I'm not. And speaking of, I was about to say, when I saw his time pop up, I was speaking of Daniel Hearn now as we were playing around in the Porsche Cup cars, and indeed he does take pole.
Straight to the top.
By about a tenth of a second. He's not going to be able to set another lap. Aidan Carter, Alex Kingston, all in the pit lane as well.
Yeah, the first Lamborghini. So is Dave Wood down in 5th.
Pulse SimSport also making a showing in 4th, but that's interesting. Not seeing them on the top front row, and I don't think they're going to be able to because they've invalidated this lap as well. They will get time for another. But right to say you're there. Dave Wood in the pits for the Lambos.
Knowing Miles, he might come good in the race. To be fair, these are a very different challenge to the usual GT3 machinery.
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure.
So especially in racing conditions and qualifying conditions, it can be a bit of a handful and a bit more to get used to. So hopefully we'll see Miles come good once the green lights go out at the start.
Yeah. We'll see. We will see. It's supposed to sort of have been one to watch recently, especially with the very entertaining races between them and some independent drivers, Daniel Hearn, Carter, getting really mixed up within the top 3 and always consistently positioned at the top.
Absolutely. They are a very quick bunch, especially over lap times.
Yes. Yeah.
They haven't seemed to be overly fond of mixing it up in traffic, but that's something they'll have to get used to this evening. Because there's not much time to clear your way out of the pack on a 20-minute race.
Oh, absolutely not. So we'll see what they can do. But it's.
Tell you what, Stevie in 10th and Scotty in 9th. Admin duo in the rounding out the top 10 there, unless someone comes in to pip them.
And do you know what is fantastic? Arthur Tozeman, I hope I said that right, has decided to smash that follow button on YouTube. Thank you very much, good sir.
Thank you very much. We love having new followers and subscribers. It warms the cockles of our deep and cynical hearts.
Simon Harris dropping into chat. Hello, Daniel Hearn. Good evening, sir. You cheeky thing, you on pole position. And hopefully that will stay that way as we wait for Miles Dixon to finish his lap. This is going to be close. He's 0.4 up on his time. last turn.
Does he run it wide there, though?
No, it's still valid.
No.
Just
Took a long... He's pushing very hard. He's pushing the lines very hard. I think he was right at the edge of what would have got him a track limits there, but managed to hold it together.
Oh, that is P3 for him, and that is that, folks.
It's a workable position. You don't score points in quali.
No, you don't at all, and that is qualifying over your starting order. Daniel Head on pole, Aidan Carter second for Go For The Gap, Dixon in third for Pulse SimSport. Top three are the names that we always see at the top of these leagues. They're always fighting somehow, somewhere. It's just insane. It's wonderful to see those top three back up at the top again. Kingston making a very welcome appearance in P4. Dave Wood, the first Lambo in P5.
The only Lambo in the top 11, which is a very impressive performance from Dave there. Yeah,
absolutely. Richard 6th, Ortiglen 7th, Ticehurst 8th, Scott Knight, Stevie Bain 10th, Tomlinson's 11th, Joran Omlo 12th, Busek 13th, Ben Holmes 14th, Valenko 15th, Harris 16th, Austin 17th, Harkonnen 18th, Ferris 19th, and then 20th is Paul Prescott 21st. Ferentino 22 is Cray, Jan Wacker 23rd, 24th Merrick Schittel, 25th Simon Witt, Janusz Schaltin in 26th, Vischer 27th, Glassmeter 28th, Mario Russo 29th, Farrell 30th, Farrell 31st, should I say, Usanen in 30th, Roy 32nd, Cruiser 33, Redhead 34th, 35th, Dan Stevens, and bring up the rear is Mr. Darren Eaton in 36. 36
That's
drivers.
Massive grid.
How the
especially
hell?
Especially for Silverstone.
How in the world are we going to keep track of this?
It's always a popular track, but a 36 car grid for Silverstone on the Silverstone track is a lot of cars in not much space.
No, not in the slightest. I want to go back to live pictures, so we just await for this race start to begin. Down to literally the last few seconds, a short formation lap. It is going to be one corner, and we will see the green light straight away.
Yeah, no full lap this time, guys. You've got tiny amounts of circuit to get here. He's starting from the old pits, not the Grand Prix pits, which always throws me off slightly.
That's it. Look at this.
Daniel desperately warming the tyres there, trying to get as much grip as possible under that Porsche.
Indeed, and I'm going to get to the line straight away, and we see the green flag for the first 20-minute race here at round one. Cuts off Aidan Carter straight away.
That was brusque, bordering on rude. That to make sure that Carter wasn't coming through.
Right, it makes it work as they go down through the complex, Maggots and Beckett's through there, and then they pray to God that the cars keep on traction as they put their foot down. Remember, these Porsches in the field do not have traction control, so the only traction control they have is going to be with their right foot. Aidan Carter, though, having to potentially defend from Miles Dixon. Pulse SimSport, I think, gets away with it.
I think whatever he did to cut Dixon off, it's given him a car length to keep on the back of Hearn and try and make an attacking move down into the chicane. Not able to do it this time.
Sadly not. Alexander Ortiglen is falling down the order, maybe lost a couple of positions there. There's some contact in the background as well. No yellow flags from what we've seen so far,
no.
But maybe a bit of door banging happening up and down the field.
Plenty of runoff around Silverstone to evade an accident if you need to, but everyone's seeming to keep their noses clean so far on the first race of the season, which is weirdly normally where we see the first big accident.
Well, no big accident yet, so I dare say the commentators cursed it, but
Hearn making a massive leap through the tail end of and onto the hangar straight there.
Dixon's looking for P3. Up and down, left and right, trying to find a way to get past Carter, but can't make it work. And you can see the Porsche
Yeah.
is twitching.
It's a lot to get used to not having those assists. Even when you're running them on the lowest setting, you know they're there, and just enough to help you with the big heavy machines. And but not having them there all of a sudden is a very different ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking up and down the
And I think it's one that Hearn is very keen to play as well, because he is storming off there.
1 second gap now, Hearn to Carter, and I think that's going to be a half-decent race lead for Hearn if he can keep that going. I'm just looking up and down the field to see any other battles. There's a massive midfield battle here. We'll go down to Simon Harris in the Lambo, who is 5th in the Lambo class and 16th overall. Stream of cars here. Austin there. There's another Pulse SimSport driver, but further down the order. There's a movement behind Leighton Austin. That's Harris.
Yeah. Harris getting a little bit of a twitch on it, looked like. He's possibly slightly eager on the right foot there. What traction control if the Lambos do have any traction control, it's a very light touch.
Oh, let's get a cheeky replay of that as you go back on board with Harris.
Oh yeah, dipped a wheel on the grass there and got a bit drifty.
And then he takes avoiding action. I think he just outbrakes himself.
Yeah, I think he was looking at the gold Lambo behind and suddenly realised there was a Pulse Porsche right in front. That was a handful of positions he's lost there.
Oh, Leighton Austin dropping down the order.
He's off in the weeds. Now, where is that?
That's onto the back straight.
Back on. So, is that just onto the Wellington straight there?
Yeah, Wellington straight. There's a yellow flag for him there. I'm not quite sure what happened. Let's have a quick gander again. Oh, was there a potential contact with another car? So
it looks like.
Well, that is Leighton Austin in a pink Porsche. For some reason, his livery decided not to show.
Right, okay.
It's definitely him.
I wonder then if he's had a bit of an off on his own. We didn't see anyone around him there. So it might be that he's just had a little bit of an off and dipped a tyre on those less grippy areas and gone spinning off.
32nd now, all the way down the order in 32nd place.
Time to get fighting, Leighton.
Yeah, he is getting fighting around the tail of that Lambo.
Yeah, that Lambo got a bit of a big twitch going around the last turn onto the hangar straight there.
Indeed. Right. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. I meant to click on board with Leighton Austin, because he was right on the tail of Dan Stevens, and indeed has made the move. That Lambo behind him was in front of him, come the corner, but that's moved on.
Yeah, he's closing in on. Is that Stevens still in front of him, or is that Roy?
That's Stevens in front of him, car 93.
Yeah. Oh. So it looks like the Porsche's got the legs there. That's risky.
It is. That makes it work. Just. Yeah, that's moved on. That Lambo is now well and truly behind him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know whether it's just a Pulse driver having the legs, or whether it's the Porsche has got a bit of a speed advantage over the Lambo here. The top 10 would seem to suggest that it does. Because he's already closing down very quickly on the next Lambo in front.
Yeah, I reckon it's the Porsche effect, I reckon. But yeah, it's interesting. We'll see what happens with that, and we'll keep an eye on that. But I think the Porsche does have a distinctly clear advantage over the Lambo, especially on the brakes as well.
I mean, once you're used to not having ABS, the amount of time you can get back without it is just amazing. Yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
Not me, of course. I just tend to lock the damn things, but These guys know what they're doing and are very, very good when it comes to getting a car to do what they want.
However, with the top 4 again, Kingston now looking quite racy, trying to catch Miles Dixon. I say that Miles Dixon is very
Miles
wide.
goes very wide.
That was wide. That looked like a twitch on the exit curb.
Was that a twitch or was that a tactical?
I'm
A little
not
bit
sure.
of a running wide.
Bit of running wide. Let's see what I can do, kind of thing. Use up the track cuts whilst I can. Maybe.
Yep, 20 minutes. If you can keep it on the track for most of it, it's going to be. You do have the option of a little bit of tactical track usage there.
Oh, is Alex going to have a look up the inside into the final sector? No, thinks better of it. It's right on the bumper. And look at Miles, so twitchy on the right foot.
Yeah, I'm not sure Miles is comfortable yet in these non-assisted cars. I think he's hasn't quite got it under control for himself yet. It takes a little while especially when you're so used to cars that perform completely differently.
Yeah. Used to having all the downforce, and suddenly when it's taken away from you, like, what's this? I don't like it anymore.
All the downforce, traction control to help you keep the car moving out of corners.
Yeah.
ABS to help you get it slowed down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then suddenly you're thrown into something that has basically none of that.
Yeah. King says they're going to make it look inside. Nate thinks better of it. I'm going to jump back down very briefly down the order because there is a 3-way battle for P6 and 5. 5, 6, 7 all within the same piece of track with each other.
I tell you what, Angela Scott has put a move on, hasn't she? She started what, P9? P10?
Yeah. She's got right up the field.
Yeah, four places up, closing down on a 5th.
Interesting use of track limits.
Yeah, little run wide there.
Yeah, we do have a yellow flag though. Who's dropping down order again? Leighton Austin having potentially an incident. It's car 23. That is showing us this. Let's see if we can get a replay of that. Again, he's just lost it on his own.
Yeah. Bit heavy on the right foot, especially through those long turns.
Yeah.
It's like you can underestimate where you think you've got to get the throttle down.
Yeah.
And then you put it down, and once it's gone, it's gone on you.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not used to having the counter steer and throttle control to get yourself out of those spins.
It's horrible, isn't it? Oh, that's car 63 off, just in front of
Jacob Grasmeader.
So he gets back on track. Again, people lose it just on their own. Just going round because they might have been a bit too heavy with the right foot.
Yeah. We will see less of this as the season goes on.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's just getting used. In racing conditions, it's like you will keep pushing to try and find that extra bit of time or try and close up to the car in front.
Yeah, exactly.
And then suddenly you will reach the point where, right, I'm past the line where I was actually able to do stuff now.
Yeah.
And the car is turning round on me or sliding off into the grass.
Yes, indeed. Right, let's jump back up to 7, 6 and 5th because this battle is definitely not ending anytime soon. Just under 9 minutes to go, we have passed halfway mark for this first 20-minute race. Just a reminder tonight, folks, that with our new sprint series, we will see 2 20-minute races per each week and 2 separate qualifying sessions for each 20-minute race. So a chance to regain. Oh, in the background though, that's Ticehurst losing out to Alexander Ortegren. Ortegren?
Ortegren, possibly. Yeah.
Ortegren, but then gets to move back up into the new turn 1.
Yeah, able to stay on the inside up into up through there. But so once again, there was Scotty going very wide out of what is the last corner of the Grand Prix circuit now.
Yeah, very much so. Ooh.
I think it's because she's pushing very hard.
Yeah, I think so. So you've just got to be careful though. It will get you for track limits if you do.
She's going for the move though. If we can quickly jump to her, she's on the inside at the end of the Wellington Straight.
It was.
No, she settled back. I think she settled back in behind there.
Indeed, can't just about miss that. Sorry, folks. Again, trying to multitask and do two things at once. Right, let's have a look. Dave Wood chugging along. That Lambo, 7th place, is a great showing.
Dave is very much holding on to the back of these Porsches, not letting them get away.
Exactly. Andrew Scott, though, is getting hounded now in the background as well. Is that Busek and Bain going at it? Potentially. I think it might have been.
I think it might well be.
Side by side they were, but I think they sorted themselves out, and indeed they have. And Dave still on the tail of these two Porsches. That's Andrew's got to go inside. No, thinks better of it. Oh dear Lord.
Well fought. It's half a gap there, and she thought, give it a go, but then realised, no, it's going to close on me if I try.
It's going to close. It's going to close. No, don't like this anymore.
So she sacrificed a little bit of time, but she's already right back under Richards there and getting a run by the looks of it.
Indeed, and in the background, Ticehurst is also going at it as well.
Not quite there and having to defend from Wood.
Yeah, exactly. Dave Wood having a good go as well. And again, just the performance for him, the Lambo. Keep on pushing. Let's move up the inside, Dave. And Dave Wood gets overtaken by Ticehurst.
That was a very good dive from Ticehurst there. I'm not averse to a dive bomb when it works.
It was alright. Half decent that was.
They kept it apart. It wasn't the full Stuka. It was definitely a very effective dive there.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
But if the gap's open, if gap then car.
There's a gap. There's a gap car size gap for you to go down. And you can go down it like, look at this, like Alexander's trying to do, and muscles his way past the Lambo.
That was a bit door baggy.
That was very much trading paint. It's going to give you a pink racing stripe along your door.
I think you might get a little bit of a safety rating flag at the end of that one. Oh, Dave running wide, trying to hold the speed onto the back of that Porsche.
Can't say you blame him, really.
No, it looks like the Lambo's very nimble, especially through Maggots and Beckett. But it just seems to be lacking a bit along the straights, and the Porsche's just pulling away. Yeah,
the Porsche's definitely got the straight line advantage, but the traction control maybe just failing them a little bit. But up ahead, though, Angela Scott and Anthony Richards fighting for 6th and 5th respectively. It's going to go around the outside for Angela. The outside will become the inside. Is it going to make it work?
I think she might have done it. Yep, gets the little twitch, gets the car straightened up, and nicely done there.
Now that was
uses all the road to make sure that she gets the pass done there.
Outside becomes the inside. You love it when it happens.
And now it looks like she's already trying to pull away and get a push on up the road. She's got a little bit of...
Ticehurst tries to make a dive on the inside. Sorry, that looked like that was going to be a move, but it wasn't.
See, there's been very little actual contact or crashing so far. We've only got 4 minutes left of this first race.
Only, yeah. I mean, the leaders are relatively close still. Hearn only 1.5 seconds ahead of Carter, but Dixon 0.3 behind Carter.
Right underneath Carter.
Just trying to... Okay, gotta go. So I don't want to go with Dixon for a little while.
Yeah, these guys...
Yes. Oh, it goes very wide.
Miles runs wide. He's trying to carry that speed round the outside of turn 1.
He's trying to, but can't quite make it work. That's
there's a lot of steering movement from Dixon there as he's trying to keep the car stable through the tail end of Maggots and Beckett's.
Yeah, absolutely. we'll jump on board and see if we can.
I don't think he's got the setup quite to his satisfaction yet. I think it's not, especially in the dirty air behind other cars, I don't think he's quite happy with how it's handling.
No, I don't think so either, but nonetheless, he's still sticking at it, and we'll stay with this battle for at least another couple of seconds before we jump away and have a look at what's happening in
he's
midfield.
having to do a lot of counter steering in the tight turns to keep the car stable.
Indeed there is, but yeah, just oof. He's struggling, but Daniel Hearn looks to be at home. I'm going to quickly jump down the order because the battle for Lambos. This is P4, P3 for Lambos between Omlo and Holmes. Omlo on the outside uses up all the track and even a little bit more.
Yeah, he did use a little bit more. I'd say that there wasn't anywhere else for him to really go there. You go too wide. Go too wide for a tightish corner. One of you is going to end up off the track.
Yeah, indeed.
It's one of those things.
And ahead of them is car 18 over Mr. Stevie Bain.
Yes, the steward's opinions may vary from my own.
I would agree with that, Ben. I would definitely agree with that. Yellow flag though for Ticehurst, who's dropping down the order. Oh, there's damage.
Oh, that's a lot of damage on the front end.
What's happened to Scott? We're going to jump on board to a replay. There's a fantastic little battle here.
Oh, he's lost it on his own.
No, he saved it. And he saves it again.
He's getting a bit heavy on the throttle.
Goes out onto the curb, onto the grass. Rejoins.
Yeah.
And makes contact with another car.
Came into the side of wood on the way back on the rejoin.
Oh, ay. Rip.
In a commentator's eye, I'd say the argument there is you shouldn't come flying back onto a racetrack at full speed when there's a queue of cars next to you on the racing line. You certainly shouldn't try to come back onto the racing line when there's that many cars there. No, it's gambling.
It is.
It's very long odds gambling.
Yeah, absolutely. And now he's going to continue to drop down the order with all that damage, bless him, and he's going to be struggling really to control that car properly.
Yeah. The question is, has Wood got away with it there? Because he's leading the Lambo class.
And Busek's right on his tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a battle to watch. Just got conscious, where's the leader? This will be the last lap.
Yeah.
So,
those top three are now very close together. Daniel's got to be eyeballing that rear mirror, but he's on the coming round off the Wellington straight through the last corners of Brooklands and Luffield. Just the long right-hander of Woodcott's to go, and he's home free across the line.
A very happy Hearn will take.
That's a very close finish at the end. They very much closed up on him at the end there.
1.6 seconds between them. Right, where's the Lambos? That's what we need to look at now. Dave Wood ahead, crucially ahead of Martin Busek. But we'll come across the line.
Yep, keeps it ahead out of Luffield. That's the last real overtaking opportunity, and if you're ahead there, then you're not going to lose it through Woodcut.
No, absolutely. And
gets across the line for a Lambo class win.
Very good indeed. Any other battles worth noting as they all come across the line? Nothing else really happening. No other battles, no other... Oh, actually, last minute battle between Jan Wacker and Leighton Austin. Leighton Austin charges back through just to take and it decides to spin it and smash it into the wall, and that's not going to do his rating any good whatsoever.
No.
What's happened to the grass meter? He's gone back.
I think he was trying to do a little did well weave there, and then didn't realise that the lack of traction control doesn't really like you doing that.
No, not at all. Not at all, indeed.
And it just threw him straight off. I think he'll do that one again.
Well, it's now got to a very unusual point, Ben, where we would usually end the stream after a race But we get to do it all over
Yes.
again, even with a qualifying session again.
Yes, we've got to vamp for a few minutes while the server ticks over.
Well, that was an interesting. I'm surprised at the lack of. Well, I say surprised, but it's nice to see clean, equal, somewhat kind of competitive racing. There wasn't a standout moment when I thought, oh, that guy's going so far ahead. It's a Verstappen kind of win.
Yeah,
There's still all to play for.
I think everyone's still a little bit tentative on these cars. It's when, like I said, we're not trying to mock anyone for using traction control or ABS, but when you've been so used to it, because most of these guys are only really playing ACC, which means that you're running GT3s or GT4s.
Yes.
99% of the time, when you're suddenly put into a car that doesn't have those assists that you are very used to, it's going to take a long while to get used to. It's like the first time you're playing one of the F1 games and you're getting confidence and you've got the TC on. You go, right, I reckon I can manage this now, and you turn the TC off and you spin straight into a wall.
I've done that more than once.
Yes.
But yeah, it's such a culture shock, I guess, to those drivers who, as I said, do absolutely love the GT3s. I'm not saying we hate the GT3s, but it's definitely going to be a shock to the system when they get into these cars. I think, actually, hold on a minute, I actually have to be a bit more conscious with my right foot.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to have to suddenly deal with. Just trying to think of. I had an idea, I thought about it there, and then it's just completely gone on me.
Oh, bless.
But it's because I'm getting old. But yes, they're difficult cars to handle at the best time. The Porsche is very light over the front.
Yeah.
The way they've moved the engine in the car, it's closer to mid-engine than it is rear engine now, but there's still very little weight over the front of the car. So it's going to be a bit twitchy as you try and maneuver it through a corner. I mean, you're basically losing first gear completely. So whereas before you'll have had first gear to deal with slow corners, now if you try and go down to first gear, it's almost guaranteed, and plant your foot, it's almost guaranteed to spin on you.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Well, folks, we are still waiting for the second qualifying to start for the second race. We have had word from Race Control though. It is going to be a split qualifying. Lambos will have the first 5 minutes to set a qualifying lap, and Porsches will be able then to leave their pit boxes bang on 5 minutes into the session and then set their lap times. We are just awaiting, as I said, the ACC server to figure out what it wants to do. And
that sounds like a decision's come from on high, doesn't it? That maybe the split quali would be a better idea, but that's basically going to make this a one-shot quali. It's time to do your out lap, and by the time you get round to do your second lap, you're going to be getting close to the end of your 5 minute allotment there.
A car mentalist in chat, Hearn's bullying me.
That's how you go, isn't it?
Oh, Aiden. Oh, Aiden. Dear Lord. Wilbert Usman also dropping in chat. Hello, Wilbert. It's a pleasure to have you. As I said, we're just waiting for the server to chuck itself into the next qualifying session. Folks, if you are wanting to come and join in the fun, in the top right of the stream, you'll have seen that there is a discord.gg link to oNiD Community Racing. Discord.gg/oNiD Community Racing. And type that into a web browser, it will take you straight to our Discord server. Come in, have fun. There is plenty to do and plenty of things upcoming as well, especially as we end towards the end of the year and going into 2024. Nick Hammer 97. But is there a bop? No,
nah.
No.
Nah.
What are you talking about? No.
We're not bopping you for 20 minutes. What do we sound like, Tocker?
Now. We're not Alfa Romeos on the AC touring car historically on a Monday night, are we, Ben?
we're not setting restrictors or ballast or anything like that. That's far too much effort.
Indeed. We may be having some server issues.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, indeed.
It's how long till start? Don't know. Soon. Okay.
That's
right.
That's the official word on the server. When's? Oh, good lord.
Did you press buttons?
Folks, if you're not seeing this, then it's quite hilarious. It's just admins being admins.
Yes,
really.
we're watching the chat stream from the game, from the server in itself, as everyone tries to figure out when the server's going to twitch over so that they can do their next qualifying session.
Oh, who's broke it? Who hasn't put the pound in the meter? Oh, and who hasn't topped up the electric meter? Oh, dear lord. Right, what's happening?
What is going on?
I don't know what's going on. That's the scary thing. Yeah, no idea. We have no idea what's going on, and this is the first time that this has really happened to us, really. I have no idea what's going on. We're completely in the dark.
Just watching, waiting till the server to ting. I'd assume that they can manually push the session forward, can't they?
I think they've tried to do that.
Right. That's
And,
concerning.
I saw the right, someone not taking the checkered flag. Stevens and Roy have registered as not taking the checkered flag, so
Yeah.
I wonder if they need to go out of pits
Yeah.
and just go and quickly do a lap to take the checkered flag. It might be worth messaging some of the admin. Oh, hold on.
Oh, there we go.
It sorted itself out.
Oh, I think Stevens and Roy just got unceremoniously kicked to pits then.
Oh, that would do it. I think that would work. Right then, folks, let's go to the track and bring you.
This is Kunos doing Kunos things. Don't worry.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. So as we said, Lambos are going to be the first one out on the track. They will then be able to set their lap times in the first 5 minutes of qualifying. Folks, we are back live. We are back with on-track action. Sorry for the delay. If you're not
Live
sure,
and in Technicolor.
yeah, Stevie Bain with the command for Streambot. If you're not sure whose fault it is, probably Johnny's. I know.
Who does set up the servers for them? I'm going to get sacked, aren't I?
It's our wonderful friends at SimRacing.GP. I don't know what you're talking about, Ben. They're wonderful.
No, not who provides the service. Who set them up?
Oh, who set them up? Okay, yeah. But
I'm definitely getting sacked.
I must. Wow. If you're getting sacked, I'm driving the bus home, and you'll definitely be on board.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Oh,
The amount of times I go at them. Johnny, we love you. Don't worry. We do it because we love you.
He doesn't care. He's off racing a Lancer in MS2 tonight.
No.
That hopefully worked.
Fingers crossed it has. And we'll probably go back into admin chat after this round, and he'll be jumping with joy. I drove a car that I really liked. It wasn't a Janetta. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so fired.
Yeah. See, so we're putting a Janetta on the next AC choice. So wonder if that'll tempt him to a Monday night. Who knows?
Who knows? Oh dear lord. Who knows?
Right, so the Lambos are on track.
They are indeed. Omlo is actually the first car out. No, it's not Omlo. It is Ben Holmes. That's the first car out on track to set a lap.
Oof, he's looking very. The car was looking very nimble through the maggots and buckets there as it comes onto the hangar straight.
He is indeed. He'll get the power down, and of course these Lambos will have the benefit of traction control. and ABS, I do believe.
I think so. I think it's like on or off on them.
Yeah, it's literally
They
there's
don't-
no in between. It's
Yeah.
on or off. Yeah.
They don't have adjustable versions.
No. So think of these cars as duty-free cars, really, but with less aero package. That's how I like to think of them.
Yeah. Absolutely. They're very powerful and not averse to overwhelming what assists they have.
No, exactly. Badim Habibovic in chat. Only Lambos and Porsches, yes, and they're cup cars as well. So even more shenanigans. I say that. We've actually had a really good race for the first 20 minutes. We'll have another 20 minutes in a moment while this 10-minute qualifying, but we actually had a really good race. Thoroughly entertaining.
It's Porsche versus Lambo. The Lambo's essentially an Audi in a skirt, isn't it, these days? So it's
yeah, and the Porsche is just a swash VW Beetle, isn't it?
Yeah. They're all owned by Volkswagen anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly. So fine, it's a one-make championship, totally.
Volkswagen Group Championship.
Yeah, well, Ben Holmes does come across the line, 2:02.
2:02, Omlo half a second behind.
2:03, they'll get another chance to set a lap. Anyone that is...
or are they going to have to come back into the pits at the 5-minute mark?
No, I think if they cross the line at 5 minutes, they can go for another lap. And then it's the same as any other qualifying, but the Porsches, though, we'll have to keep an eye on because they will be very...
They'll be leaving the pits in 20 seconds.
Yeah, let's see who does get ahead. So we've got 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2... Oh, so I left very early there.
Yeah, haven't left the pits. They did leave their garage. Don't know whether there's rules against that.
That was a little bit cheeky.
It's cheeky we can live with. There's a queue of Porsche now, so any of the Lambos who are running a bit behind are and haven't set time yet are going to be coming across that traffic. And there's a lot. There's only... No, Busek, who didn't manage to set a time and is back in the pits now.
It's car 19 that kind of jumped the pit box. Is it 19?
He hadn't left the pit. He hadn't crossed the line. He was making... Realistically, he was making sure he was first out on track, but he hadn't crossed the line, which is probably the argument there.
I apologise. I saw a car number in the window, but it's actually their position on track. So it's car number 4 in 20th position at the minute. But that was cheeky for Sven Fischer.
I mean, like I said, the argument is, so long as they didn't leave the pits, they've not broken the rule.
Yes. So we'll see what the stewards think of that, Weston.
I mean, we do know what sim races are like, and if you give them an inch, they will take 25 miles. So it's so if unless you explicitly told them that they weren't allowed to move from the garage until that 5-minute mark.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Dave Wood, just very quickly, just touch base. The last Lambo's pretty much come across the line. Dave Wood sets a good enough time for P1 for the Lamborghinis. And who's going to be the first Porsche? It is going to be Schittel to go across the line to start the Porsche laps.
Indeed. Should get 2 laps in.
I think he will. But that's all the Lambos back in the pits now. Busek, who's the only Lambo not to set a time, will start at the back of the grid, pretty much. But good time there for Dave Wood, 2 minutes 2.2. We'll see what these guys in the Porsches can do. I'm a poet and I didn't know it.
It's the thing, there isn't a massive speed difference between the Porsche and the Lambo.
No.
They're putting the power down in different places. The Porsche seems to have a bit of the legs around here, but it's not like there's a very clear class differential between them.
No, it's a random one, isn't it? Technically, they are both cars in the same class, even though there is somewhat of a maybe a bit of a speed difference. Only a very slight difference though. And it is purely based on track. It's corners versus straights really, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The Porsche has the straights easy. But it's the Lambo that has to get it back in the corners and the acceleration and maybe even the braking. Badim Habibovic, a guaranteed crash in the first lap. Well, once you watch this stream back, you'll see in the first lap there was no crashes and everyone was quite respectful of each other.
There were very few crashes throughout the entire first race, to be honest.
And if anything, it was more Porsches spinning their tyres up and being too heavy with their right foot because they don't have traction control on these Porsche Cup cars. So, yeah, I mean, you can try and curse it all you want, but I'm going to politely disagree with you on that one. But Chitter will be the first person to come across the line to set a lap for the Porsches. Daniel Tomlinson behind him has invalidated, so has Stevie Bain. And a couple of other Porsches down the field have also invalidated. They may not get another lap in.
Yeah, I think the first big time we're going to see is probably Miles.
Where is he? Where is Miles? That is a good question.
It's showing as 21st at the moment.
Oh, Daniel Hearn P2. Kingston P1. Carter goes P1. Dixon P3.
It's P3.
Hearn is in P4. That's interesting.
But the key thing is they've managed to get another lap on the go.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on
There are
that.
going to be some, I suspect, who won't get across in time.
Aidan Carter's gone back to pits. So that is...
Clearly had enough for one session.
That's his lap completely over. He won't be improving and is vulnerable to potentially a faster lap from Kingston, Dixon or Hearn. Anyone else setting in purple section of Porsches, I can't see any times lighting up the board as of yet. Hearn, Dixon are all matching their previous best. Dixon has just turned purple, Alex has just turned purple on the timing board. They are exchanging faster sectors as we speak. And they're all literally on the same part of the track.
And there's definitely some people who've got a bit more comfortable with their cars after that first race, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Alex Kingston, actually, I tell a lie, is a bit further ahead of Dixon and Hearn, but is on course to match and potentially beat Aidan Carter's time.
It's always a risk going. I wonder, had Aidan maybe invalidated his second attempt?
Quite possibly. Dixon now going purple, 0.4 of a second up on Aidan Carter's time.
He's found his confidence.
Yes, indeed. Daniel Hearn's not improving. He's matching his time. Cannot find anything else out of his car as it stands. Now Kingston's going purple, 0.4 of a second up on the time. These are live times, folks. It's going to be decided as they all come across the line. Kingston might have just lost out on exit there. It's going to go purple across the line. It's going to be close. It
goes top for now.
Top for now by 0.04 of a second. Who's going to take that top spot away from him? If anyone, it's Dixon going to do it. We'll see as he comes across the line. Daniel Hearn abandons his lap. It's going to be Dixon. It's not going to be Dixon. It's Kingston on pole position.
Dixon did not improve. Dixon was well up at one point there.
And look at the gap between third and second.
Oof. That is
wow,
mildly ridiculous.
That is absolutely insane. Hearn invalidated. He could not improve. He pulled the car off and called it quits. But wow, oh wow, oh wow.
But as we said,
insane.
You don't win points in qualifying.
No,
remember, the only place you can win a race is lap 1, turn 1. So not at all. They've got 20 minutes to prove that they've got their car sorted now.
Yeah, indeed. Right, let's do a quick fancy run up down of the grid. Kingston in P1, P2 is Carter and Dixon. Hearn in very unlikely P4. Dave Wood first in the Lambos in P5. Prescott P6, Angela Scott in P7, Ben Holmes P8, Alexander Ortegren, I hope I'm saying that right, in P9, Omlo in 10, Tomlinson 11th, in P12, if my app decides to work, there we go. Ferentio in P12, Dexter Cray P13, Richards 14th, Ticehurst in 15th, Harris 16th, Harkonnen in 17th, Stephen Bain 18th, Chris Ferris 19th, Piotr Kazija in P20th again.
Kazeja, I think that is.
Kazeja, I apologise if I said that wrong. In P20, Mario Russo P21, Sergei Folenko P22, Janis Scholtin in 23rd, Wilbert van Ossenen in 24th, Leighton Austin 25th, Cheeto 26th, Grasmida 27th, Sven Fisher 28th, Witt 29th, Redhead 30th, Ferrell 31st, Dan Stevens 32nd, Jan Wacker 33, and the last row 35 cars. Busek is 34th, Darren Eaton 35th.
So we've lost one person in between the races, but that is still a very big grid.
It is absolutely... Oh wow, I can't believe it, really. General Scrub, sad that you can't race anymore on Tuesday nights. You are missing out, good say, but we are very sad not to have you. It is a pleasure for you to be in stream now. Hi, good evening. Wonderful to have you as we just wait for the second and final 20-minute race of tonight to go ahead, and we are away. Kingston gets a reasonable start, stays the inside line and lets Aidan Carter challenge him around the outside. In the background, it's all happening. Daniel Hahn going wide, trying to potentially go too wide with Miles Dixon into P2, and they're going to sort themselves out as Kingston retakes the lead again, but then it's going to be immediately challenged again by Aidan Carter by That Racing as they both go to that straight.
Thought Kingston was losing it for a second, then managed to get it under control.
Who's that? Look at that in the slipstream. That's going to be
Dixon right underneath Carter's wing.
Make it 3 wide on lap
3 wide.
And they're going to make it. Oh. Jesus Christ.
Oh. That was ballsy.
Each other as well. And they somehow...
Dixon is practically bump drafting Carter there.
He is, absolutely. And Kingston, first to third, Aidan Carter taking the lead. Can we breathe?
Carter's managed to pull about a car length there, so it's might not be enough to completely drop the slipstream, but it's dropped them off a bit.
No,
and now it's Dixon leading the pack there.
No,
very good on the brakes into the sharp right-hander and the village there.
Dixon goes very deep though, and will lose out. Dave Wood sadly falling down the order. Dave Wood shown as a yellow flag, and indeed does rejoin. We will jump back up to the second, third and fourth, because Daniel has on the inside of Alex Kingston, and Kingston's going to have to yield the position.
Gets on the inside into Brooklands, puts it smack on the racing line through Luffield, closes the door.
Holy bejesus.
Slams the door into Kingston's face like he was a salesman trying to flog him gas and lecky.
I love that. And Russo sadly, yellow flag.
Getting away though. Kingston sling it up the inside into Maggots.
Yeah, they give each other space. I can't look for a minute, Ben. Right. Have to look at the other
tried to hang it around the outside through Beckett. Wasn't quite able to make it stick. Keeps it on the clean on the exit of Chapel and slots back in behind. Dixon is off. Carter has pulled a 2.5 lead up at the front there.
They're getting confident with the cars now, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. These three fighting. They found their. We know they've got pace, but they needed to find confidence in these very different cars to their usual rides around Silverstone. So now that they've found a bit, they're Suddenly able to race very, very closely.
Yes. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
I've seen NASCAR races with more air in between the front bumper and rear bumper there.
Oh dear lord. Sadly, Darren Eaton dropping down the order. That's a lot of damage.
It's taken a big hit somewhere.
Let's see a replay of that and see what's happened with Darren as they go up into the chicane. I have a feeling there might be a car on the inside, and yes, that's Dave Wood.
Yeah, that's Wood, and that's a couple of...
Oh, he takes a big hit from another car as well. Oh, and another one!
Another one. Yeah, this is going to take a little bit of unpacking. I don't believe we've got live stewarding tonight for a 20-minute race, so I think the stewards will be busy post-race on this one.
Badim, have you a Vic in chat records I counter-jinxed him with our start predictions. Rude.
I nearly just sprayed coffee all over the screen there. Thank you, buddy.
Han's lost out to Kingston.
I've got a feeling these two are going to be dicing for most of the race.
I have a feeling that your feeling is really very accurate.
That Amanda Scott's going to be joining them in that one for a three-way dicing party.
So your feeling...
There's probably a joke in there somewhere.
No, it's probably. Well, I must say that my feeling of your feeling, that my feeling of your feeling, that my feeling of your feeling of being correct is a good feeling to have.
God, it's more than a feeling. We're high on believing. I'm so sorry.
Is tonight going to be a good night?
Oh, who knows?
Daniel has got it inside! They're going side by side. Watch the soft curb!
Hearn seems to be able to turn that Porsche a lot more tightly than Kingston is.
I can't look, Ben, for God's sake, what's happening?
Hearn gets through again. Kingston's going to fight back, though, but he's now got Amanda Scott right behind him.
I don't want to look, but I have to look. It's insane.
It is a pure triple threat here.
It's absolutely Porsche. Haynes is the leading Lamborghini in P6. He's doing very well for himself down there. Omlo is about a second behind him in second place for the Lambos. We'll perhaps give that a bit of attention in a moment. We'll stick with this and see what happens.
Yeah, these three nose to tail into Luffield there, and Brooklands and Luffield.
Oh, for God's sake, guys, keep it together, please. I love it.
Hearn again able to turn more tightly and able to hold his speed up through there. Keeps the foot planted through Woodcott as they come across the line for another circuit.
I must admit, a bit of inside information with Daniel. Was driving these cars with him a little while ago, and he did give me his thoughts on the car. I know he does enjoy driving them, so might feel a bit more at home in these cars instead of the previous GT3 cars we've had in previous seasons. And
he was doing quite well in the GT3s as well.
He was, that's the thing. So yeah, we'll see what he could do.
Dips the rear wheel there.
A lot of curve.
Dips the rear wheel on the dirt.
The car bounced happier than the car bounced more than an angry bull there.
Angry Bull's known for bouncing?
Kicking.
Let's go with that. Oh dear.
I could do fancy things like that as well.
Ernie's taking a lot of curb there. He's dipping the wheels off there, which is very risky in these things. Slick tyres, you get dirt on one side and not the other, it will upset the traction of the car.
It's gonna hurt. He's comfortable doing it though, by the seams of it. So I think he's alright. We do have 3 cars in the pits now. Farrellwood and Redhead, probably from that collision early on. We do have a yellow flag though, multiple yellow flags. What's happened to Anthony Richards? And oh, that's a very damaged Lambo.
That's a very big hit. Whatever's done that on Kazasia there.
Let's have a gander, shall we? We'll go.
I think he just got himself off the line a couple of times. Now, car 25.
Oh, he's a passenger!
Oh, yeah.
car stopped on the racing line, rightly holds the brakes, but he's just a passenger.
If he was unsighted coming through there, then he was very close behind the car in front. I'm just going to watch it back on our repeat on the YouTube stream.
I don't think there's anything to do there. What was it? Car 52 apparently, I think.
Yeah. Well, the car was there for a long time. He could have spotted it there, but made the decision. Sometimes it doesn't go well for you.
No, exactly. So
if it could be one of those things, it might be that he's in cockpit cam, didn't quite, and lost track of the corners of the car.
Yeah,
we've all done that at one time or another. I've done it in a real car, which is even more fun. But
damage on that car though. That's hefty repair.
Limp that back.
Do you want a Daniel Hearn update?
Well,
he's got past again.
He is through, and Kingston's still chasing him. Amanda Scott's backed off a little bit. Well, I don't know whether they backed off or they've just managed to drop her a little bit there.
Oh, just going to jump to Harkonnen because it was showing that he was in a potential incident there. Car 23. Let's see if we can get a quick replay. And he did drop it a fair few places. I do wonder if he had made brief contact with someone or just went off potentially. Oh, that was the contact then. It's got a little nudge and a bit of a clunk there. Oh, a little half spin. That would do it.
Just enough to upset the traction, I mean you can't defend.
Yeah, so that's him.
Well held, to be fair. Yeah, to be fair. Considering it was a side on side like that, it's very easy to lose the car and have it spun on you. But held it together quite nicely.
Absolutely. Sven Fisher and Chris Harris. So, Chris Ferris, shall I say, and Sven Fisher showing as a potential incident there. It looks like they exchanged positions again. We'll go to a quick replay. So they were fighting with a Porsche in front of them and a Porsche behind them. Oh, a tap from the Porsche and then got collected!
Yeah. It's you can tell it's race 2, can't you?
Yeah, everyone's getting a bit too comfortable, aren't they?
Everyone's feeling a bit punchy.
Yeah, they figured out what these cars are all about, and now they're feeling a little bit,
yeah.
Well,
or at least they think they've figured out what the car is about.
Well, exactly.
It may disabuse them of that notion.
Well, Ferris does keep going though, and so has Fisher. So I think they're just going to grit their teeth for the last over 8.5 minutes.
It's not worth pitting for damage. We know what the damage repair times are like in HVC. It's not worth pitting for damage.
No, not.
You drive. If you ding the suspension, you'll just drive left hand down.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, what's Omlo doing? It's Omlo and Holmes going at it because this is the fight for P1 and P2 in the Lambo class, 6th and 7th overall. And
a very tight fight it is. These nimble but wide Lamborghinis are. It's going to be very difficult to find a passing place around them unless you can get fully alongside, or unless you're willing to go full send, which from an entertainment perspective, I'm not averse to.
I don't mind a cheeky send. Yeah, entertainment wise, it's brilliant.
Yeah, go full send. Let the steward sort it out.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
probably not the attitude I should be espousing, really.
No, not to our wonderful viewers on YouTube. No, please no. But Omlo does have a Porsche of Alexander.
Yeah, but he's actually.
Yeah.
It looks like he's backing off slightly in order to defend from Autogun there.
Yeah, what you said. Autogun.
I think he's having to divide his attention between front and back, and it means that he's not able to make a move in either direction. He can't fully defend because he's got to keep an eye on Holmes ahead of him. He can't fully make a move on Holmes. He's got to keep half an eye on Autogun behind.
Yeah. Oh, you say that Holmes has made a mistake.
Yeah. It's going to be right under that rear wing. Stick under it. Goes to the outside. He needs to hang it on there. He needs to hang it right round until he can get to the chicane. Slides it, holds. He's holding in place. Not quite.
Not quite, sadly.
Lost that little bit of traction, but the intent's there. The intent's there.
Yeah, then the Porsche wants to get a pass now. So we'll keep an eye on that battle because that could play into the hands of Ben Holmes, and he'll be very pleased if he can take a Lambo win. But I have a feeling Joran's got the pace on him a little bit here at Silverstone. That's becoming
got the pace piece. He's defending hard against the Porsche there.
Yeah, it's becoming an on-road train now with Hurst getting involved.
The question is, how is the scoring calculated? Is it calculated through just the overall grid, or is it going to be calculated for...
Don't know, there's contact between the two lead Lambos!
Oh, that's going to be very popular.
Oh no. So they dropped down the order and they will retain the P1 and P2 in the class.
I think Joran was polite there and allowed Ben Holmes to get away and retain that position.
So now that's put them down into 8th and 10th. Cray is only about 1 second behind Omlo for P11th, and Prescott in P12th would be 4th in the class. Lambo, they've got a Porsche between them now.
Yeah.
And in the background, P3 and P4 for the Lambos are going at it. Paul Prescott and Cray, and Daniel Dexter Cray, should I say. That's an awesome name, Dexter Cray.
This isn't it? Oh, that's a move. Right round the outside.
Jesus Christ. And in the background, Harris and the Valentino.
I mean, I know Prescott got a bit of a slide on there, but Cray absolutely winged it round the outside.
He did indeed, and we'll stay with this battle actually, because the leaders up ahead have sorted themselves out. It's about a 4-second gap between Hine and Dixon, a 2-second gap between Dixon and Carter. This Lambo battle is really heating up, and that's a move up the inside by car number 5, Valentino. Can he keep it on the inside? No. Car 3 gets cut back, but gets a traction on exit.
So it's where they're looking everywhere to find just enough grip to make a move.
It's insane.
Prescott manages to pull a gap now, but Valentino defending hard against...
Oh, car from the background, Simon Harris.
Harris got off. Yeah.
Oh, he saved that big time.
I'm guessing he probably tried to carry a little bit too much speed and sent it off there. I
am inclined to agree with you. And Harrison is now going to be under attack from Usain into the final few corners of the circuit. Is Usain going to have a look? No, he stays put, thinks better of it.
So I think you're going to have to struggle to find someone who isn't under attack by someone else at the moment.
It's just
going to be one person having a really peaceful race and everyone else is just in mass panic.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. Oh, Hearn's made a mistake. Kingston's right back on his tail again. There was about a 2-second gap between Kingston and Hearn, and that's closed right up again with about 3 minutes to go.
Half a second, yep. Scotty's actually... I think it's Scotty where the 2-second gap was actually. She's dropped back by about 2.3 seconds there. So I think these two have just settled into a few very fast laps, got themselves clear, and have gone, right, fight's back on now.
Yeah.
Kingston thought about the move into the chicane. It's a risky place to make a move. It looks very wide from our cameras.
It's not.
But if you ever watch it from the onboard, it looks so tight.
Yeah, it is stupidly tight. It is literally, if you can go too wide, but you would be pushing it.
Yeah, you need to have a nose ahead into the braking zone, really, to make a move stick there.
Yeah, Kingston using up all the available track that there is that you can use, riding it up onto the black and white curb. Plenty of grip there, but he's pushing.
Yeah, the force feedbacks will definitely be getting a workout this evening. I wouldn't be surprised to hear about smoke arising from people's direct drive wheels by the end of the night.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Who needs gym? We don't need to do arm day and use sim racing.
That's what I keep telling myself.
Every day.
Arm day, leg day, it's all one when you're sim racing.
Leader is on the final lap. We have had the official call out.
That went quickly.
Exactly. We're going to jump back down the order though. Omlo really challenging now for the Lambo lead, and Tomlinson is going to try and get into the mix as well.
Yeah, that 77 Porsche they might not be in classrooms, but they want those overall positions.
Absolutely.
Hey, no matter what we say about class, there is always an overall championship to fight for, and you want those points, those tasty points.
Nom nom nom. I'll stick with this battle because the Porsches are pretty much settled themselves unless Hearn makes a massive mistake. And if he does, we'll keep an eye on that and try and bring that to you as if and when it happens. As of right now,
this trio are fighting very hard. I think we've got a couple behind them who are fighting as well. Ferrantino's on Prescott's back.
Yeah.
Ferrantino's very close on Prescott's back.
Yeah, 0.1 of a second, pretty much.
Yeah, there's places to make a move as well, and you've got to say they'll want to try and risk it.
Around the outside, tries to get the cut back. Oh, massive twitch!
No, got a little. That was almost a half spin for Ferrantino there, and suddenly, under threat by Harris, runs wide. Hold on. That was a bit cheeky. That was definitely a tactical there. Ran wide to maintain to hold the speed and came back on.
Yeah, absolutely. Aidan Carter is about to cross the line. We will give Aidan Carter huge congratulations for a fantastic race win.
Absolutely brilliant. Kept himself clear at the front and just.
Sorry, yellow flag for Tomlinson. Drop it down the order. That's a Lambo. That's a Porsche. So that's a Porsche. Battle for Lambos.
I'm gonna guess try to move on one of those Lambos and came a cropper there.
We are on the lead battle of Lambos. Carter, Dixon, Hearn and Kingston come across the line. There's contact with the lead Lambo battle.
Oh, that's Joran Bock. Yeah, Joran Bock knew what had happened there, backed off, made sure that he wasn't going to take the place.
But watch out, it's Joran going to get second.
Nearly sacrifice. Oh, that's going to be a tight finish there. What was the
Dexter Cray third in the Lambos by 0.1.
800ths.
Oh, literally just.
That looks less than that at the line.
Holy
I'm not too sure we've got the correct timing there. I think it might be even less because they looked basically side by side across the line there.
Holy bejesus. Dear freaking God.
Oof, that was a lot of fighting. It's amazing how punchy sprint racing makes you, isn't it? It's like when you've only got 20 minutes to make positions, there's none of this sitting back. I love Steve's livery there.
I do. I just
that's some fried chicken livery.
Got a Scotsman livery. And on that note,
deep fried Porsche.
Deep fried Porsche.
He's going to shout at us.
He's going to shout at us, and Johnny's going to shout at us as well. We've annoyed two of the main admins tonight.
But he's so annoyed that he just drove straight into the barrier.
No, exactly. It's just like, sadly, he now decides to do donuts. Yeah, well, we've cut away from him.
He knows we're watching now.
We've cut away from him at this point, so it's just pointless. We've gone back to our little kind of owned studio. So, yeah, that was. I forgot how fun sprint races could be.
You have to be punchy in a sprint race. You have to get moves done because you've not got the leeway to sit back and wait for an opportunity. You can't spend half an hour putting pressure on to try and take a couple of places. You've got to get it done straight away and then be looking at the car in front.
Big time, absolutely.
And these guys certainly got that into their heads. It's like there was not a wasted second.
No, there wasn't in the slightest. But yeah, that was that was round 1 at Silverstone. Next week, same time, same place, we're going to do it all over again. And I am not sure whether to be scared or excited at the fact of what racing we've seen tonight.
Yeah, well, next week we are going to Kyalami for another 220 minutes at night because we haven't made things complicated enough.
Oh no. Dear freaking God. Same, as I said, guys, same place, same time next week, and we'll be sure to bring you all the action from what is going to be, I'm sure, a very exciting Tuesday night season of Assetto Corsa Competizione Racing. Ben, it's been a pleasure. I look forward to next week, I'm sure, Kyalami at night, but guys, we'll sign off here and say thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Take care, speak soon. We'll be back live again on Thursday.
That's a very good question, yes.
It'll be the AMS Championship on Thursday. So it'll be...
Always a great season. We encourage you all to come and watch that because those guys put on some awesome racing.
Oh, thanks, Ben.
You're welcome. Well, most of them. Present
them.
company accepted.
You
asked for that. You asked.
I did ask for that. I set myself up to fail there.
You can't leave an open goal like that.
I can't. No, I just can't. Not with you. Yeah. Anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. As I said, same time, same place next week, and we'll be back live with Johnny and Adam on Thursday for the AM series at Bathurst, I do believe. Of all places to have an amateurs driving race, Bathurst. Dear God.
That's fish. Is Johnny feeling mean or something?
I do not know. I have no idea at this point. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. We'll just sign off from Silverstone. Take care. Round 2 next week on Tuesday night. All the best.